Hello, welcome to the DraftKings Daily Trot. I'm Big Italy 42 here, joining you talking about tonight's small three-game slate. So this one will be nice and compact for you if you're playing on this little slate here. So really only two pitching options I like. First off, Dallas Keuchel, $9,000, facing off against the Yankees at home. He's got a 64.1% ground ball rate, 15.6% fly ball rate, strikeout rate right around 20%. Doesn't give up fly balls, which means he doesn't give up home runs, .59. And he's been elite against left-handed batters. 172 wOBA out, just one home run. I mean, this is the guy that I want anchoring my cash games if I'm playing tonight. Obviously, on DraftKings, you need to have two here. Some other option, going to be chalk, and there's going to be a lot of chalk tonight on just a three-game slate. A.J. Burnett at $9,700 against the Reds. Garrett Cole's a guy who's had his struggles with the Reds this season, so I guess you kind of give him a pass for that. But fortunately, Burnett much cheaper than Cole was last night. And he's still a nice minus 160 favorite here. The Reds, along with the Yankees, have just a three-run team total. So these are the two teams you want to target with your pitchers. Tournament option going to be Lance Lynn, $9,200. I'm really not a fan of Dan Herron, as you know. Adam Warren and Anthony Scalfini, both guys are just okay. They don't have much upside. They don't strike out many batters. I mean, you look at their strikeout rates, both at 16%. Neither guy has anything that really just stands out to me. Dan Herron's got that fly ball rate of almost 50%. Awful splits against lefties. So, I mean, it's a rough go with these other guys. It's going to be an interesting small slate tonight, but that's really all I'm looking at as far as pitching goes. Moving on to catcher. Unfortunately, no Evan Gattis on DraftKings at catcher. So your options here, Yadi Molina's $4K. You don't love the price tag, but you do like Dan Herron's been struggling. Fly balls, obviously, there. Not that many options. Francisco Cervelli gets Anthony DeSclafani, who's actually been pretty good against righties, but Cervelli homered 2 nights ago in his last start. You assume he's going to be back in the lineup tonight and should be. Other options, Jason Castro, if he's in the lineup, or even Hank Conger. Those two guys, cheap catchers for Houston, 34 and 33,000 respectively. You can look those guys' way. And then whichever cheap guy is in the lineup for the Reds, if you're not playing Burnett, Brian Pena at 27 or Tucker Barnett at 23. You don't love either guy, but you can get some bigger bats when you fit in these guys. First base, Joey Votto against Burnett, $4,300. Definitely the best hitter at first base tonight. Evan Gattis, like I mentioned, he's a first base eligible. He's a great tournament option at $4,400. Same for his teammate Chris Carter against Adam Warren. Really not playing Mark Teixeira against Dallas Keuchel. Keuchel will be a favorite, a popular play, I should say. So targeting him would be a good swerve in tournaments. Just not a guy that I love here. And then if you're looking for cheap guys, your option is going to be Mark Reynolds at $3,000 against Dan Herron. As we know, he's power and really not much else with him. And Pedro Alvarez, first base, third base eligibility. Actually, really like him. He's my favorite tournament option, probably at any position, at $4,000. Second base, D. Gordon gets Lance Lynn. Not a great matchup, and obviously stolen base upside. Not quite there tonight with Yadi Molina behind the dish, so he's a tournament option as well. Second base and third base for Louis Valbuena. Gotta like him and his power, especially at home, $4,000. And then Neil Walker is probably going to be a nice cash game play at $3,800 against Anthony DeSclafani. Obviously switch hitter, so he can hit from the left side tonight. And then Colton Wong, I got to think he's going to be one of the most popular plays, really at any position. $3,800, lefty against Dan Herron. Pick on one of the few pitchers that has some significant splits tonight. Go that route. Definitely a good way to go. And if you need a cheap option, if Brandon Phillips is not in the lineup tonight, Ivan DeJesus Jr. at $2,200. Certainly a good way to go there. Now moving over to third base, Todd Frazier, $5,000. We know he's got a ton of power. A little bit more against lefties than against righties, but he's a nice option against A.J. Burnett if you're paying up. Outside of that, I mean, Matt Carpenter has to be your cash game play at $4,300. Another lefty against Dan Herron, just in a great spot. Other guys I mentioned earlier, Valbuena and Alvarez, also have third base eligibility. So a couple other guys to consider. You can play Aiden Hechavarria at third base. I prefer a power guy at third base personally, but he's a guy who can get on base, do some damage on a base pass. And then Mark Reynolds at $3,000. Once again, another guy with dual eligibility. Shortstops, this is short and sweet. Carlos Correa, $5,100. He's expensive, but he's your top option today against Adam Warren, probably the worst pitcher on the board. Johnny Peralta is just Mr. Consistency. He gets Dan Herron tonight. Once again, Cardinals going to be a popular play against him. And then if you're looking down for cheaper guys, there's really not much. Jordy Mercer's in the lineup, $2,800. You can look at him. And Eugenio Suarez for the Reds, $2,700 if he's in, and you're not playing A.J. Burnett. Outfield, Giancarlo Stanton, always in play. Homers in 2 straight games. Gotta love him hitting at home. You don't love the matchup with Lance Lynn, but you definitely love Giancarlo Stanton against anyone, especially on a short slate. He's going to be a popular play. Same goes for George Springer at $5,000. He gets Adam Warren, another bad pitcher, certainly looking his way. And Andrew McCutchen, Dave Sclafani. You don't love the righty-righty, but of course Andrew McCutchen can hit anyone. Gregory Polanco, another guy that can steal some bases. Neither one of these Reds catchers very capable of throwing out a lot of base runners, so gotta like that. But your best play in the outfield, dollar for dollar, Jason Hayward, lefty against Dan Herron, going back to that once again for the last time. 3,900. He's homered in 4 of his last 6 games. You have to love him. Then I'll throw out a couple more tournament options for you. Colby Rasmus and Preston Tucker. If they're both lined up, they're both good options. 38 and 36 respectively for Houston tonight. Gotta like that. And then when you're looking for cheap guys, there's really not a whole lot. If Ichiro's in the lineup at 27, he's an okay cash game play. Not a guy that I love. That's really the only cheap guy I'm looking at tonight. And with that, that's going to wrap things up here. Nice and sweet for this Thursday night. So follow us on Twitter at DFCafe, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and check out all the great content at dailyfantasycafe.com.